Get here into Zoom.
That's okay. You look awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How you doing today?
I'm great.
Awesome.
What's everybody else doing?
Well, we have a couple of people are logged on trying to connect. We have and everything else. I'm waiting a couple more minutes before we start.
Okay.
I love the hair.
Oh, thank you.
Such a beautiful day today.
It is.
I'm so excited about your book.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Me too. Long time coming.
I know. How many years have I known you now?
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. This is awesome.
Yes, it is.
I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Give it about a minute or so.
Okay.
Then we'll start. Welcome, everyone. We have some people still connected.
Okay.
It's exactly 4 o'clock and we're going to start. This is Sharon May King of Sharon King Worldwide. This is my book club, Sharon May King Book Club. This is my first author on author Tricia Alkmia Coochee. She's the author. She's the author of the Orisha Talk, Tales of Lust, Love, and Historical Memories. I will go ahead and read her bio. It's so beautiful. Tricia Alkmia Coochee is a writer, poet, public speaker, cultural art producer, and health educator. Ms. Coochee is a fourth-generation Californian with historical roots that stretch to South Africa, the Caribbean island, and India. A poet, independent journalist, and writer, cultural art producer, and promoter. Her focus has been on holistic health and wellness education, the literacy art, and travel. She has worked with the following art and education organizations, including the Lamert Park Literary Festival, the African Marketplace Cultural Fair, Ford Theater, Pan-African American Film Festival, Malcolm X Art and Educational Family Festival, International Black Writers Artists, St. Elmo Village, We Can Foundation, Hope LA, and the Nubian Foundation. She was a featured writer for the Who's Who in Black Los Angeles inauguration edition. Ms. Coochee is a member of the California African American Museum. Historic Counsel, and a member of the Los Angeles chapter of the National Association of Black Journalists. A co-founder of Spoken Words, Art and Music, Poetry Lounge. Her poetry and prose has been featured in many venues and publications, including Beyond Bourgeois, Literature Art Center, and the Center of Los Angeles African American Heritage Month calendar. Her first book of poetry and prose, The Orisha Talk, Tales of Lust, Love, and Historical Memories. Published launch is on Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. Ms. Coochee states, my poem and storytelling is informed by my study of history, my individual and ancestral history, as well as the legacy and culture of African American people. As activist and educator, Angela Davis said, we embodied history. We bumped up against it, and sometimes in small and personal ways, like the choice of words we spoke in our every lives. Our time is large and profound ways, such as remembering where you were when a beloved public leader died. Her invitation to the reader. My intention with the Orisha Talk is to mix the significant profound with the satisfying sanction into a delicious spicy malasa or gumbo. My aspiration of the Orisha Talks is to inspire human shaking of heads and stomping of feet in recognition while fostering elevation and healing. Sit down with a glass of your favorite libation and feast of many musing as the Orisha guide you through history. Bon appetit. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much, Sharon. I'm so glad to be here today, giving thanks and honor to our ancestors, and just thank you for having me today.
You're very welcome. You know, you inspire me from the day I met you. I think you're a phenomenal woman. And
Thank you.
we've been friends for so many years. We go back such a long time.
Long time.
Yes, congratulations on your book.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. What inspired you to write your book?
Well, I've been writing since I was 6 years old, writing stories, and studied journalism, you know, when I was in college. So I've always been a writer. Primarily nonfiction has been my genre. A few years back, I got into creative writing and some poetry. It took me a long time to claim the title of poet. A lot of my mentor poet friends would be like, look, just admit it, you're a poet, okay? Quit qualifying your work. So I'm a longtime attendee of the World Stage Performance Arts Center, and I consider that my school and my home. And it was out of that relationship with the stage and some of the people there that I heard about this opportunity called the Community Literature Initiative, which is actually a class, a 9-month class. And after the class, you produce and give birth to your child, which is your poetry or prose book. And it was a wonderful opportunity. And so I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to commit to do it. So I have, and the book is coming out on the 21st of this month. So it has been a long journey.
Wow, that is so awesome and so amazing. And I can never say congratulations enough, because we, as Black women and African American, when one of us win, we all win. So I'm so happy, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you
for everything that you are doing. You have such a great resume of everything you have done. You have been featured in many articles, and you have done a lot, and you are doing a lot, and will continue doing a lot.
Thank you.
How long did it take you to write your book?
Well, as I said, it was a process in the class. I actually had some poems in there in the book that I had written previously and reworked some of those, and then came up with new material as well.
That is really awesome.
Thank you.
Now, the Orisha is very spiritual.
Yes, it is.
It's a very spiritual, the Orisha. There's more than one spirits we're dealing with and more one of everything.
I wanted to, can I share a slide at this point?
Yes.
Let's see. I don't know if I can share my screen.
Let me see.
Let's see. When they go back into, because today is Sunday, and for a lot of people, it's a day of praise and divinity. And so I wanted to see, let me see if I can, I think it says you're disabled screen sharing.
Okay, let me go in.
Okay. So I just wanted to show these images before I go into talking about the Orisha. And for most people that know me, I'm very much a historian, a history buff, and have studied African history, Black history for a long time. Some of the people that I was really so thankful that I was able to hear them speak and be in their presence was Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben, and I studied with Asher Kwesi. So those are some of the folk that I have studied with regarding Black history. And if I can, let's see. Okay, so let's go.
Did it allow you?
Yes, it did. Now, if I can just figure out how to get to the desktop. Let's see, that's that. Okay, why can't I? Can everyone see that image?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. So this is a meditation garden here in Los Angeles, one of my favorite places to go to just get peace and meditate and pray. And as you'll see, there's the different pillars, you know, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, Hinduism, and Buddhism. And you could ask the question, well, where do Black people fit into this history? And the truth is that we fit into all of this history, this historical history, because African spirituality is at the root of all of these historical and religious traditions. And so, but unfortunately, African spirituality is not something that is recognized by the dominant culture. And in fact, too often it is demonized. And so that was one of the reasons why I really wanted to put a highlight or a spotlight on the Orisha tradition. I am actually not an initiate or practitioner in the tradition, but I've studied Brazilian sacred dance, and that was my introduction to the Orishas. And so that is my background to the Orishas. I wanted to, I wrote a poem that was related to Black women and our imagery in the world, the stereotypes. And at the same time that this poem sort of developed, there was all this discussion about the woman who, this young actress that is going to play Ariel the mermaid. And so there was always this pushback from the dominant culture. It was like, a Black mermaid, that doesn't exist, blah, 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 blah. And in actuality, if for folks that do know about African spirituality and African culture, the whole concept of the African mermaid goes way, way, way back. And some may be familiar with the Orisha Yemaya, or also Mama Wata. Mama Wata is even older than Yemaya. And so I'm going to read this poem that again is sort of the impetus for the book, as far as the imagery and the whole concept of the Orishas. So it's called Cinematic Dreams Over the Rainbow. This is not an angry Black woman poem, not a cliche, not a bitter pill to be swallowed. No, this is not that. This poem be about the truth that frees itself. You see, I'm not your mama, not your baby's mama, not even that ex-wife that cheated on you. I don't answer to hoe, bitch, or you're female. I'm not your jump off on some side street that lives on some side street. Nah. Now, dime piece, we can talk about that one. Oh, and don't get it twisted or permed. Just because I have locks doesn't mean I'm low maintenance. I'm not the chick in that porn flick that likes to be whipped or raped. Nah, that caged ain't me, and that shouldn't be you either. Didn't our ancestors experience enough of that twisted sickness? Please get Massa and Miss Ann, aka Barbie, aka Karen, out of your bedroom and off your computer. Let go of that pornography and get you some new iconography. I'm not your punching bag, not your ball and chain to be pushed and pulled about while you take your male eagle out for a walk in the park, not your baggage that got left at the airport or the altar. No, this ain't no angry woman poem to your angry Black man. I'm Oshun to your Shango. Okay, not Django, Shango. I'm not on the payroll or the poll, but I do know how to handle my business. Not your midnight special, but you treat this Oshun right, and I'll be your morning, evening, and afternoon delight. Not your freak of the week. Why a woman gotta be a freak? Because she likes sex. Get thee away from me with that Judeo-Christian Islamic BS. Nah, that ain't me. This chica be the tantrika that'll take you places in your body and mind that only your spirit could dream of. I'm not some witch that beguiled, spooked, or jujued you to like me and to love me, because you do like and love me, and you don't know how the hell that happened. I might be light-skinned, but nah, I'm not no tragic mulatta. Not your blues woman, no sad songs are sung here. No, this Oshun clicks her heels and sambas over the rainbow. Not brassy, bossy, or bot, not your gal, sassy sapphire to your Amos and Andy. Nah, that's not me. I'm not your gangster bitch to your OG Nino Brown, but I have known to be gangster when the situation called for it, you feel me? You see, I be more like Foxy Brown to your Shaft, and you a bad mother, shut your mouth. Cinematic dreams do die hard. Besides, I like dress up. Leather and lace, afro and stilettos be my speed. So come on in. Let's act out that love scene as I wash your back and Curtis Mayfield serenades. Give me your love. Give me your love. Superfly has left the building, and ain't nothing like a little 70s groove back when men knew how to sing and make the first move. Thank you.
Oh, wow. That was so beautiful. Beautiful. That was
Thank you.
beautiful. You
Thank
know,
you.
I love the Orisha. The poem is so beautiful. It's so perfect. It's so right. And it's so true. You know, I am the daughter of Yamaya, Mafer Hun Yamaya. I
Yes.
know the Oshun. I know
Yes.
Batala. I know Shango. I know Santa Barbara is Shango. I know
Yes.
Oya. I know all the saints. All three
Yes.
of them. I popo. So this, I love the poem. And we as Black women, we are beautiful. We are Mother Earth. We are. Like I am, you are.
Mm-hmm.
We are queens. We're to be loved, not half loved, but fully loved and nurtured.
Yes,
And in
yes.
return, you will get the same back.
Mm-hmm.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I felt the energy.
Thank you. So going back to talk about the Orishas, so you can look at it on several different levels. On one level, they're the West African deities that traveled across the waters throughout the African diaspora from West Africa, but or not but and there's also another level where you can look at the Orishas as representing the human personality and the human experience. And so that's what I also try to put forth in the book as well, that there's a connecting thread to the Orishas throughout the African continent. When you look at some of the deities in ancient Kemet or ancient Africa, you see that there is some parallel with some of the Kemetic deities or personalities, and also the Orisha deities or personalities. And so too often the continent and the history, African continent and African history, is divided up. Well, this is West Africa and this is North Africa, and there was never any mixing or there's no through line or connection to the people in the North, the people in the South, the people in the West. And that's completely false. And so I think African people in the diaspora, I think, are in a unique position that we can claim the history of the whole continent as ours. A lot of folks, I happen to know some of my family history and have also gotten my DNA done. But the concept of Pan-Africanism actually started here throughout the diaspora. And so I think that, again, we can claim that Pan-Africanism and Pan-Africanism, not just on a historical basis, but also through the religious traditions and cultures as well, and make those connections and intersections. And again, that's what I try to put forth in the book, sometimes hopefully in a poetic way, but also with some of the information that I provide as well. And there's also parallels with Asian deities, Asian personalities as well. So again, we want to go back to, these are the forces of nature that have been personified. And so that idea, that concept is something that is very universal. So again, I try to make those intersections throughout the book.
That is so amazing. And I'm so glad that you brought up so much. In my opinion, I think a lot is divided, so we don't know our culture.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned a lot in the spiritual worm and with the Orishas. Everything is spiritual. We're a spiritual being. And
Yes.
a lot of people thought that Medusa was evil. Medusa wore dreadlocks. They made her to have snake head, but she had dreadlocks. And the things that they worship and the things that they did to protect themselves spiritually, they made it seem like it was voodoo and it was wicked. And it's not, because the Orisha is worldwide. Brazil, Mexico, any country you go, they're practicing it, and it's not wicked. People are protecting themselves spiritually from
Right. And people need to understand that in the African traditions, in the Orisha tradition, there is no concept of the devil or Satan or anything like that. And so a lot of times people want to talk about the deity Eshu or Elegba and, you know, say that, oh, he represents the devil or all of that. And again, what I try to put forth in the book is talk about that. And I also come from a yogic background as well. So I try to make those connections. So actually, you know, Eshu represents what we call the crossroads, right? So he presents opportunities. He um, presents opportunities. And so it's you as the human being that has free will, that you can decide what you want to do in the world. And so I kind of equate that also with, you know, yoga talks about these different energy centers throughout the body. Most people know them called chakras, right? And so every chakra has a particular part of the body and emotion that's affected by that particular chakra. And so the third chakra is related to the digestive system, which actually, when you distill that purpose of what does the digestive system do, it actually distills our food, right? And so on an emotional level, the key word would be discernment. It's like, what are you putting into your body? Is it healthy for you? What's the outcome for that? And so again, the third chakra is representing how we appear in the world, our sense of will, our sense of self-discipline, our sense of self-esteem, and the decisions we make, whether it's what we eat on the physical level or what we eat, uh, opening our mind up, what music do we listen to, all kinds of things related to discernment and decision making. And so that's what the third chakra represents. And so again, relating Eshu is about opportunity and decisions and how do you want to appear in the world. And again, there's pro and con, there's negative and positive, but it's all about the individual making that decision. It's not Eshu, you know, that's forcing you to do anything. He's just presenting you opportunities. And whether you say yes or no, that's your free will. And again, there's nothing devilish about that. It's really, again, as I say, going back to the human personality, you have free will, you make decisions. Sometimes you make the right one and sometimes you don't. And so that's really what Eshu represents, is that sense of discernment, decision-making, self-esteem. How are you going to look in the world? How are you going to appear in the world? And are you true to what you say you're about? That's what Eshu represents.
You
He,
know,
he will test you. And that's what Eshu represents, is that test. The, you know, as the folks say, you can't have the testimony without the test. So that's what Eshu represents.
absolutely. You know, and I've always said, even to my children, everything is spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
And everything you do, whatever you put out to the universe, it comes back to you, whether it's good, whether it's bad. So we have to be able to take our time in making decisions, and take our time in meditating, and taking time in everything. Not everything is, you don't have to rush for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great book. I already
Thank
ordered
you.
my book.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I
Thank
already
you.
ordered the book. I'm so excited, and congratulations on your book. Do you have a target audience for your book?
Well, primarily Black folks. But, you know, as I said, this tradition is universal. So the book is designed for folks that want to learn more about what the Orishas represent from my point of view. And how I've designed the book is that each Orisha, and believe I don't list all the Orishas, and some people will ask, well, how many Orishas are there? That will vary by culture and region, and some, you know, although again, there are through lines throughout the different cultures, but there are things that are particular to a particular region or language or teacher. And again, because of the way the information again came to us across the waters, different countries, different regions will pronounce things a little differently. There's different, I don't want to say schools of thought, but different branches that may practice things a little differently, put emphasis on this one as opposed to that one. But overall, I would say that there's a general way to practice, and then people branch off and to other things. So each chapter is related to a particular Orisha. So Yemanya represents the mother energy, the earth energy, and so that's what those poems are about. Oye is the storm, the hurricane, the whirlwind. She's warrior energy, and so a lot of my poems are related under that chapter, are very warrior-like. And in fact, I'm going to read a poem now. It's called "We Are the Data," and I dedicate this to John Trudell. He was a Native American poet, activist, someone that I was so happy to get to know before he passed on. He was actually going to write the foreword for my first book that unfortunately we had issues with, so that had to be put on the back burner. But I really appreciate the clear thinking, creativity, and joy of that John Trudell presented in this life. So this poem was inspired by him, and it's called "We Are the Data." We are the data they mine, more precious than blood diamonds. Who the hell are they to say anything is semi-precious? They are the ones that are costume, counterfeit, and fake. Who are they? John calls them the children of God, the ones that put profit, P-R-O-F-I-T, above profit, capital P-R-O-P-H-E-T. Sense, C-E-N-T-S, above sense, S-E-N-S-E. Their religion is a death cult as they walk the earth, making blood sacrifice of others. They have forgotten what it means to be a living, human being. They are the unconscious with no conscience. They know no proportion, no balance, no equity, no appropriateness, no harmony with nature. They will kill a forest to make hamburgers. They look in the mirror but have no reflection. Roam the planet like vampires, seeking to suck dry the chi of the soil and the soul of the children of earth and sun. The Buddhists call them hungry ghosts. All bug eyes, no-lipped and bloated stomach, consumed by their desire to devour everything they see and touch, but doomed to never taste or feel. Nothing is ever enough, so they destroy. Their throats a bottomless pit of burning thirst. They pollute the waters of Oshun and Yemanya while bottling their greed for our purchase. We drink it and die from poisoning by plastic. Roses and flowers offer no fragrance to their noses. They kill the bees in revenge. Their brand of chocolate, marinated in the blood and salty tears of children. We eat it and wonder why we want to kill ourselves. Driven by their sick, twisted appetites, no thing, no one is safe from their infected, guilty hands, from choir boys to organic seeds. They hate innocence and wonder because they have none. So children are their targets to destroy. They are the destroyers that fear women and the great mystery called to nature. How devilish to make a seed that cannot reproduce, but does reproduce sickness to the earth and those that eat it. Says their time is up. We'll give them that out-of-body of experience their souls crave, that wish of death these vampires want so badly. Some of us, children of earth and sun, have lost our way, become blinded by the destroyer's white light, our brains injected with their gilded filth. Says our time is up. The path paved with no pure intention, no pure action, is your decision. We must fast, pray our ancestors' way, wash our brains and body. Eshu has cleared the way. The key, remember. The path is a consciousness, a vibration, actions. Don't be fooled by the mask of color or the cloak of gender. Time to remember that germination happens in the dark, wet soil. All creation happens in the invisible, before manifestation. Meditate to become endarkened. Thank you.
Wow, that was beautiful. That was so beautiful. All creation happens in the invisible. That is beautiful.
Thank
That's so
you.
beautiful. Right now, we are going to be having some people have their hands up, asking
Okay.
questions. And I'm
Okay.
going to ask to unmute so they can ask you questions.
Okay. All right.
Hi,
Hi.
this is Sahai Farrell.
Huh?
Nice to hear you reading your poem.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So how does it feel to be finished with your work?
Oh, it feels fabulous. Yes, it feels really good. As I had mentioned before, I did have a manuscript that I had written, it's probably 25 years ago now, that John Trudell was going to write the foreword to. And unfortunately, it was a small Black publisher, and unfortunately that publisher went out of business. And so that project has been put on the back burner. And I feel like it's been a long time coming getting a book published, because I'm actually working on some other books as well. But when I saw this opportunity to get some of my creative work out into the world, I said, oh yeah, let me do this. Because again, as I said before, most of my writing has been nonfiction. Two of my other books that I'm working on are nonfiction. So to have the creative work kind of get out into the world is wonderful. So I really thank you all for being here and listening to, as I said, my musings.
Well, thank you. Thank you for doing it. That was lovely.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions?
Can I speak?
Yes. Hi, Sean. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Tricia, Sean is part of my book club.
Hi, Sean.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, your poems is amazing.
Thank
And
you.
I created a show with Sharon called Empowering Entrepreneurs, which is made up for authors.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna be in touch with you and get you on the show, and your poetry is like, wow. I was like, damn, I need to get her on the jukebox show.
Well,
Curtis
thank you.
Mayfield, Superfly, all that. Yeah. So, you ladies, queens, you guys are amazing in what you do and what you guys bring to the forefront. And a lot of us men, we need to start paying attention to what's
Mm-hmm.
being said and what's being told from you guys, because we can learn a lot. And I think that's where us men fail, because we don't pay attention to you ladies. So keep
Uh-huh.
doing your thing. Keep doing your thing.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Just one quick word about the Orishas. I think that's, as I said, when I talked about they represent the deities, but they also represent the human
Mhm.
personality. And so I think we can learn lessons from their stories, the Orisha stories as well, because remember I was talking about Oya is that warrior
Mhm.
energy, and she actually, two of her buddies are Ogun and why am I
Brain
Ogun
freeze.
and yeah, brain freeze. But anyway, so they collaborate with each other, and some of there's you got to read their stories. Some of their stories are downright scandalous, right?
Mhm.
But there's stories there and how they operate in the world. And this is the other point I wanted to mention too. Each Orisha has their own not just own personality, but they have their own colors and dance that they do, and they're incredible energies, right? And so when you talk about men listening to us women, I think there's some lessons there, not just for us women, but also men too, and how we
Mhm.
can work together in the world, because that's what Oye and Ogun do. They work together in the world. That warrior energy, right? So,
Right.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you're amazing, and I appreciate you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sean.
Mhm.
One of my favorite Orisha is the Legua door opener. He keep the road
Yes.
open. I love Papa Legua, and I love him. He's really good, really, really good.
Thank.
They're all
Yes.
good, and they all serve a purpose. And the thing about the Orishas, you have to know what serve what purpose and what their colors are and what their days of the week, their months and everything's are. It's not
Right.
that I just
Right.
know Papa Legua, oh, he opens the road and his colors are red and black, but I know more. His days, what does he like to eat? What does he like to drink? You know.
Right.
So when you
Right.
start with your Orishas, it's so important for you to take the time to know what you're doing.
Right. Any other questions?
We do
Who
not.
did the cover for your book?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I definitely want to big up and shout out to my artist friend that did the cover of the book, Wendell Wiggins, Wiggins Art and Design. He's an incredible artist, designer, Brazilian dancer, traveler, photographer as well. But yes, when I came up with the idea that I would have the Orishas guiding the book, I said I got to have some of his artwork because it's just stunning, stunningly beautiful. So yes, Wendell Wiggins, Wiggins Art and Design.
It's fabulous.
Thank you.
So, Tricia, I have a question. Do you have a website?
My website is under development. People can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Instagram is at Alkmia. That's ALKMIA. And Twitter is at Tricia, TRICIA, ALKMIA, at Tricia Alkmia.
And Tricia, what is the name of your website? I know it's under development.
It'll be TriciaCochee.com. And that's TRICIA, last name Cochee, COCHEE.com.
I apologize. I mispronounced
That's
your
okay. That's okay. That's all right.
And your book is available now for purchase. Where can it be purchased?
That can be purchased at the World Stage Press website.
So they just go to the website and they'll find your book.
Yes, they'll see the pre-order page, and it's $20, reasonably priced.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I wanted to while we're if there's not any questions, read one more that is related to the lust that's in the title. It's called Playboy After Dark. And raise hands how many people watched that show as a kid when you were growing up. Playboy After Dark.
I have not.
It was just a jazz show.
Okay.
In the Playboy suite. They had the women running around in the bunny outfits and stuff. But anyway, I've been into music and jazz a long time. So, but this is called Playboy After Dark. Sang in saxophone. She watched him fingering the keys just the way she wanted him to touch her. He heard the singer's breath between the notes, could only imagine her sighs between his strokes. Twilight, as day slides into night, as easily as his hands slid across the black and white. Twilight, a silent witness when dusky aperitif turns to musky appetite. Clinking of glasses, flickering city lights, ears massaged by drum brushes in slow circular motion. Something about you and this 360-degree view mixed. This penthouse seduction where maybe flirts with the kiss of yes. Thank you.
Wow. That is amazing. I love poetry. And I love listening to you reading it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What do you have to say, Sean?
I said she's gonna have to give awareness out before she do those. She's not responsible for any kids being made.
Exactly. Well, actually, you know, this poetry, it's wonderful. You know, as kids, we talk about, you know, reading to your kids and how important that is. But actually reading poetry to your significant other is a wonderful thing. So hopefully some of my poetry will be appropriate for that kind of activity.
I think the
Yeah.
one you just read just now.
Christmas and New Year's is around the corner.
Hey, Sean, that was so beautiful and smooth. I sat here, I was like, did she just finish? I wanted more.
Yeah, I wanted more too. I was like, come on. You're gonna have to go back and revise that.
Right. You have to revise it, Tricia. What's going on?
You got us all hot and bothered, and then you just stop.
Oh,
Like, oh man, damn.
That was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. Sean, I'm sitting here like, I know she's not finished.
Yeah, I had my eyes closed.
well, see, I left room on the page where you guys can improvise and put in your own, right? You know,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
just
you know
teased,
what,
you just
Tricia, I
teased
have
us.
to ask. You know, right, Sean, I have to ask you, do you mind reading another poetry for us? Do you have any more poetry to read for us?
Sure.
One
I know
more,
she got
please.
a whole book full.
Wait a minute, Sean, you all the way in North Carolina. Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see it.
Let me give you one. As you were reading off my bio, you know, I have worn a lot of different hats. And one of those hats that I wore was as a massage therapist back in the day. So this is called Bodyscapes #3, A Massage Therapist Speaks. The body is the nexus, the intersection of the self, thoughts, deeds, and genes, crystallized into flesh and bone. Stretched, tightened, tucked, toned, nipped, cut, tattooed, lightened, burned, bleached, picked, pierced. No other part of the body more loved or despised than the skin. Oh, but it has its revenge for all that pushing and pulling and manipulating and hating on it. It refuses to keep our secrets. Will tell on us in a heartbeat with too much drink, too much smoke, and not enough water and caress. Thank you.
Nice.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was really beautiful. You're such a great, phenomenal, amazing, beautiful, smart.
Oh,
The list goes on. Woman, Black woman, proud Black woman at that. And
thank you.
And I thank you so much, and I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity for you to be on Sharon King Worldwide Book Club. You're my first author to be on my show.
Well, I'm honored. I'm honored. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And I got to tell everybody, when my book first came out back in 2012, Tricia surprised me and showed up. Was that the Lamert Book Fair?
Yeah, I think so. God, it seems like it's so long ago.
She showed up and she said, I'm Tricia, I'm your Facebook friend. And she was such a warm, loving person. Her energy is so perfect, so genuine. And we stayed friends through, it's been 8 years. We've been friends. And I love everything about her. She's genuine, she's hardworking, she's smart, courageous, brilliant. She is someone that you would want to know. If you have a friend, you have a friend in Tricia. And I just want everybody to know that she is so amazing. And I wish you continuous success.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I can do to help and support, please let me know. I am here for you. And I
Thank you.
continuous success. Is there any last, we have 7 more minutes. Is there any last words you would like to leave for all your fans that are watching, that are on?
Oh, wow. Let's see. I think more than reading, I would really encourage everyone to indulge their own creativity, whatever that is, however that manifests, whether it's writing or painting or you know, music. I think we're living in such a time where our voice needs to be heard. And so whatever your creativity is, just express it and share it and get it out into the world. We need to document our lives. We need to document our culture. We need to document that we were here. And it's so important for those next generations. A couple of my poems in the book are, one is about, 2 of them are about my ancestors. One called Gunsmith Jones, and he was born into enslavement, but his father bought him out of slavery. His father was a gunsmith and a silversmith, and so he was a gunsmith. And we actually have some of the guns that he made. He's like an award-winning, he's truly an artist. And so it's really rare when things like that can be passed down generation after generation. And so again, whatever our creativity is, you know, paintings, you know, books, whatever that we can, you know, again, put out into the world, keep some things that you can pass down through your generation. And, you know, just, and again, we get locked into thinking that our creativity has to look a certain way. And I'm, you know, actually I write a poem about art and that creative energy. We are the channel. And however that manifests, it might be through painting, but sometimes it might be writing. Music is so important. Music is so much a part of my life, and music enhances everything we do. So if you can incorporate all of the arts into your life, please do, and share it with our young people, because they need it. We all need art. And I'll let that be my last words.
Can I say one thing before we?
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, I just, you know, as an author myself and a Facebook friend.
Okay.
I saw this, you know, I'm Sahai SEV Farrell, and I saw it online, and I said, you know,
Sahai, yes, hi.
Pop in and support you, and I'm proud of you.
Thank
and
you.
Exactly what you said about getting our own voices out and save for posterity. To have on record who we were, what we actually thought for ourselves, not someone else trying to interpret who we were. Right. So I appreciate you, and I'm glad I had a chance to stop in. Yeah, good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in today with author Tricia Coochee. I pronounced it correctly this time, right, Tricia?
Yes.
Thank you. This is SharonKing, and this is SharonKing Book Club. Thank you. We wish you continuous success. Please be safe out there. As I will remind everyone, please vote.
Yes.
Please vote.
Yes.
It is important. Please vote.
Yes.
Please.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I want everybody to be safe. Is there any last questions or remark you want to have for author Tricia? We wish you continuous success.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.